Alright, guys. Uh, you may be wondering what's on my face. This is a drying solution because I have bad acne. I mean, it's not the worst, but that's what it is. So, we've reached the semifinals in Indian Wells. Alcaraz just defeated Cerundolo in straight sets. I predicted all but one of the semifinalists correctly. I said that Ben Shelton would defeat Draper in 3 sets, but in actuality, it was Draper who won in straight sets. So, Draper was just a better player. Shelton could have won the second set. He was up 3-love, but Draper just doesn't go away. He's a pest in the best possible way. I think I might have said this. He just hangs around in the games, keeps getting a bunch of balls back, and it just looks like he's very annoying to deal with, which is good. So Draper was just a better player, and I admit that I analyzed this matchup incorrectly. But the other ones I got right. So Rune won in 3 sets against Griekspoor, exactly like I predicted. Medvedev won against Fils, but it was in 3 sets, not straight sets like I predicted, and he barely won. But I wouldn't have counted him as a total fraud even if he lost, because it was an extremely close match, quite literally decided by a couple of points. So it was like, 9-7 in the deciding set tiebreak, something like that. So he obviously put up a fight, and he ended up winning. The match point was actually kind of unfortunate for Fils, because he played serve and volley, and he was in great position to win the point, but Medvedev, he scrambled to get the volley from Fils back into play, and all Fils had to do was tap that passing shot from Medvedev back into the whole open court. But it looked like he wasn't expecting Medvedev to get the ball back, so he just didn't react in time, and he ended up putting that volley long, which cost him the match. So that was quite an unfortunate way to lose for him. But yeah, Medvedev went through. Draper won straight sets against Shelton, like I just said. That's the one I got wrong. And Alcaraz just won against Cerundolo in straight sets. But this could have easily gone 3. I mean, it was 6-3, 7-6. So, tiebreak. As we know, anything can happen. So, that second set could easily have gone Cerundolo's way had a few points gone in his favor. And even the first set, Alcaraz was actually kind of screwing around. It kind of looked like it was going to be an off day, and he was giving Cerundolo a bunch of break chances. But Cerundolo, he might be kind of bad in pressure moments or big points, because it seems like he just usually makes an error on them. He really should have broken probably in the first game of the match, but he messed it up. And then Alcaraz just started finding the court and was able to take that first set 6-3, despite giving all those breakpoint chances. And then second set went to a tiebreak, which Alcaraz won 7-4. So let's start with the semifinal from the top half of the draw, which is the 12th seed Holger Rune against the 5th seed Daniil Medvedev. The head-to-head is 2-1 to Medvedev. 1-love on hard courts, and that one meeting was actually last year at this very tournament in the quarterfinals, where Medvedev won in straight sets. Do I think he will do it again? No. I think I said this in the last video, that I'm saying, okay, Medvedev can win this quarterfinal match against Fils, the first time ATP Masters quarterfinalist, and he barely won. But will I keep picking him to win semifinals and finals? No. So I'm not going to do that. and he won against Fils, but he didn't look great. He was playing extremely passively. He was the ultimate pusher. He was literally just waiting for Fils to miss. It didn't look like he was doing much with the ball on break points even. He played like the most passive points I have ever seen. It was like watching me play. And he just waited for Fils to miss, which luckily he did, but it's not like he had to really do anything other than just put the ball back with absolutely nothing on it. So it was literally just pushing of the highest order. It shouldn't work against a superior player like Rune, who has better shot tolerance, maybe better point construction than Fils. This literally just empty pushing should not work against Rune. It doesn't look like Medvedev is back to good form. He was better last year still. Yeah, he's in the semifinals again, but it doesn't look like he's playing as well as last year. It doesn't look like he's really playing well again, maybe better than the past few weeks, but still doesn't really look good. I mean, the guy's hitting the ball like 20 miles an hour. So he's made his way to the semis, but I don't think he will go any further than that. But maybe he can take a set. I mean, he has beaten Rune twice, and once last year, and has been at this stage more than Rune has. So maybe he can take a set, but I will have Rune winning this in 3 sets. Then on to the second semifinal, which is the 12th or 13th seed, Jack Draper against the 2nd seed and the 2-time defending champion Carlos Alcaraz. The head-to-head is 3-1 for Alcaraz, 3-love on hard courts. 2 of those were won after Draper retired in the 2nd set. One of them was at this very tournament 2 years ago, when Alcaraz won for the first time, and Draper retired in the 2nd set. And the other one was, another one of them, was just a couple months ago at the Australian Open this year, where Alcaraz won the first 2 sets. Oh, okay, so he won the first 2 sets, and then Draper retired. So Draper's fitness is not known for being the best, and I don't think that he will defeat Alcaraz. He has looked pretty good. He has not dropped a single set, but Alcaraz has not dropped a set either, and he's just better than him, and is the 2-time defending champion with much more experience. I think this is Draper's first Masters semifinal. Draper has looked solid though, but he has mainly been getting the ball back a lot and being very good defensively, and I don't think that will be enough against a player Alcaraz's caliber, who is really able to take the racket out of your hands and blast you off the court and play more intelligently and not just give away as many points and just take control of the points, you know. Draper, what was impressive about him in this match against Shelton was that he actually made only 9 unforced errors, and he had like, I don't know, 20 something winners, or maybe 30 winners. Maybe 30 winners seems like a lot, but 9 unforced errors and definitely more winners. So that is pretty good to make only 9 unforced errors. Granted, I mean, these points actually had a fair number of decent rallies in this match. It looked like it didn't look like it was all just short points. So to make only 9 unforced errors is very good from Draper. But he is just solid. I don't think that will quite be enough against someone like Alcaraz. But Draper can maybe make this interesting, and he has beaten Alcaraz on grass, which is maybe Alcaraz's best surface besides this very tournament. So I'll say that Draper can maybe take a set here. So I'll have Alcaraz winning this in 3 sets. And I think we will get a final between Carlos Alcaraz for the 3rd time and Holger Rune. And it's probably a good thing that Medvedev should not be going to this final, because he was in the final against Alcaraz the past 2 years, and he got cooked because, as we all know, he can't do anything against Alcaraz most of the time, except for that unbelievable performance at the US Open 2 years ago. But besides that, Alcaraz has beaten him pretty comfortably pretty much all the other times, except for when Alcaraz was like 17 or something. So I think it's probably good that we don't get Alcaraz versus Medvedev for the third time at this tournament, because then we all know what's going to happen. And Medvedev is even worse than he was in those past 2 years. So we don't really need another Federer versus Nadal French Open type thing where they meet in the final for like 3 times in a row and we all know what's going to happen. Yeah, sure, maybe you can say we all know what's going to happen against other players too, at least for Nadal at French Open, but it's kind of like this guy has been getting the same guy every time, and we already know that he can't do anything. So how's about letting someone else have a shot, huh? Just to make this a little more interesting. Yeah, he's probably still going to lose anyway, but at least it's not just the same guy losing over and over. Like, give someone else a chance to at least try something. So I think that a final with Rune against Alcaraz would probably be more interesting than Medvedev, because I think Rune would have a better chance to beat him, even though he would not be the favorite, of course. But Medvedev kind of seems like a foregone conclusion. Rune seems like maybe if he catches fire, he could be able to do something. Possibly. But he still wouldn't be the favorite, of course. But it would be more interesting. So, yeah. Once again, I think that Rune will defeat Medvedev in 3 sets, and Alcaraz will defeat Draper in 3 sets, and we will have a final between the 2-time defending champion and 2nd seed Carlos Alcaraz and the 12th seed Holger Rune.